Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today. So let's start with Saraya is considered a pioneer in professional wrestling and has accomplished a lot in the industry for women's wrestling in general, but she has had to go through a lot of health issues over the years. In fact, Saraya has now shared her harrowing experience of dealing with ectopic pregnancy. While speaking on an episode of Broad Ideas with Rachel Bilson and Olivia Allen, Saraya shared a deeply personal and harrowing experience regarding her ectopic pregnancy. Saraya, who is in a relationship with Ronnie Radke, recounted how she faced a life-threatening medical emergency while Radke was on tour. Saraya described the terrifying ordeal when she suddenly experienced severe abdominal pain and heavy bleeding, which led her to crawl on the floor in distress. At the time, Radke was away, and due to the presence of cameras around their home for security reasons, he was able to see her condition through the surveillance footage. Upon realizing the gravity of the situation, Radke called an ambulance and flew home immediately. In a frantic state, Saraya managed to crawl out of the front door, only to find herself locked out. The paramedics, initially hesitant due to their fear of Saraya's pit bull, Lobster, suggested she crawl through the doggy door to let them in. Despite the intense pain and blood loss, Saraya complied, and the paramedics were able to enter and assist her. At the hospital, Saraya was placed in a hallway before being rushed into a room where she underwent a painful examination. Initially unaware of her pregnancy due to her endometriosis, Saraya was devastated when informed by a student medic that she was experiencing an ectopic pregnancy, which led her to fear for her life. The medic's vague reassurance did little to calm her fears. Later, another doctor arrived and clarified that while she was having an ectopic pregnancy, she was stable and would need surgery to address the issue. This reassurance helped alleviate some of Saraya's anxiety. After the surgery, Saraya stayed overnight at the hospital. Radke, eager to have her home, wheeled her out as soon as he could, despite hospital policies. Thankfully, Saraya is in great health now and is currently determined to compete at All In next month one way or the other. Nonetheless, Saraya's nightmare experience truly affected her, but her experience will likely help out those who have suffered in similar situations. What do you think of Saraya's harrowing experience with ectopic pregnancy? Do you have more respect for her after learning about what she had to go through? The next story is about LA Knight has been pursuing Logan Paul and the WWE United States Champion in recent months. Last week on SmackDown, the megastar revealed that he got a signed contract from the general manager, Nick Aldis, for a SummerSlam title match against Logan Paul. However, LA Knight also stated that the Maverick had not signed the contract but vowed to get his name on the dotted line. As advertised, Logan Paul appeared live on the July 19th edition of SmackDown for the contract signing of the match. General manager Nick Aldis officiated the signing, introducing both the challenger and champion to the ring. Both men began firing shots at one another, with LA Knight also reminding Paul that he one-upped him every occasion they met and made it clear that the United States title was all he wanted. However, Logan Paul reminded him of his supremacy beyond the ring, unlike LA Knight, while berating his entire two-decade-long wrestling career. But after LA Knight called his brother, Jake Paul, the real fighter of the family and Logan a coward, he became aggravated and immediately signed the contract, with their title match now official for SummerSlam, and even launched a sneak attack, only for LA Knight to fight back and send him into retreat. And now, according to WWE stats, Logan Paul has secured his place in history by surpassing the record for the longest title reign in the past decade. Just days after reaching 250 days as champion, Paul exceeded Austin Theory's second reign of 257 days. Among all US champions, including those from WCW and the NWA, Paul now stands as the 22nd longest reigning holder of the title. In the coming week, he is expected to surpass Ricky Steamboat and Booker T, both of whom held the title 4 times. What do you think of Logan Paul achieving such a milestone as the United States Champion? Do you feel he deserves it, and what are your thoughts on LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the WWE United States Championship made official for WWE SummerSlam? The final story is about Jax has been part of the WWE family for a long time now, and her current booking has certainly impressed fans. She is a genuine part of the Bloodline family in WWE but isn't part of the faction on television, and now she has directly addressed potentially joining the faction. The Bloodline is undoubtedly the most dominant faction in all of WWE right now, and they have been going strong for well over 4 years now. While Roman Reigns is currently away from WWE television, Solo Sikoa has usurped the throne, and he is joined by Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. While speaking on the Battleground podcast, Jax was asked about potentially joining the Bloodline as its first female member. She acknowledged that while she is currently the prominent female figure in the Samoan bloodline, there are others like Tamina and Naomi. She noted that the male wrestlers are excelling in their own roles and seem to want the women to develop their own distinct paths and succeed in their respective areas. Although the female wrestlers are not always featured on screen, Jax mentioned that the male wrestlers continue to support them behind the scenes. They frequently offer support through texts, watch their matches, provide critiques, and help them out. Jax expressed that if there is ever an opportunity for her to step up and take on challenges as part of the Bloodline faction, she is more than willing to do so. Jax said, I think, well, obviously, it's always a thing, right? Because right now, I am the female Samoan bloodline in the business. I feel as though, and then we have Tamina, and then we have, married in Trinity, or Naomi. Naomi. So, there is that option. I also feel as though the men are doing such a great job and they're doing their own thing. I feel as though they want us to have our own thing, they want us to go in our direction and thrive in what we can do. I've said it before, even though we're not on screen, behind the scenes, the boys are constantly supporting us. They're constantly having our backs, and if they're not there in person, they're texting me, watching my matches, giving me critiques, and helping me out. So, if ever down the line they need some women to get in there and kick some butt, I'm more than happy to. Jax is currently focused on her upcoming WWE Women's Championship match against Bayley at SummerSlam, but there might just come a time where she will join the Bloodline and fans are definitely eagerly waiting for that to happen somewhere down the line. Do you want to see Jax join the Bloodline in WWE? Thanks guys for watching and please subscribe.